And it is time that we enter the colorful state of Colorado. Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West. More specifically, we are here at the Colorado state line. I ended up spending the night in Moab last night, trying to get a little bit of rest, and then we're continuing east. I said my goal is to make it back to Rochester, New York to see Jen before WrestleMania. So we're going to continue east as we travel through the beautiful state of Colorado. Behind this wooden "Welcome to Colorado" sign, we have this obelisk that says Colo State Line. I guess Colorado's a long word. It would have been hard to fit the whole word on that obelisk. We've arrived in Fruita, Colorado, and just look at that. We have a massive dinosaur on this grain tower here, and that is the city's logo right there. A massive carnivorous dinosaur. Maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Maybe an Allosaurus? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this looks like a fun place. I just noticed this out in front of the grain tower. They have this really cool collection of Silver Bullet RVs, Airstreams, and other RVs. Look at this one right here. This is super cool. I don't know who these belong to. I guess it's a private collection here, but what a cool collection of vintage RVs. Out here in front of the police station, the Fruita police have this giant set of handcuffs there. You can see how big they are. Put my hand through there, you can see how oversized it really is. But I guess it says lock your bike up here. So this is actually a bike rack, a handcuff bike rack. Right here in the town square, we have this giant green dinosaur. Seems like Fruita, definitely a town that loves its dinosaurs. See, dinosaur in the little cage here. And it says on this plaque that the dinosaur is named Fruita, named by Fruita school children in 2000. And yeah, you can see it is spelled with 4 R's. So the school, you can just imagine like the school children discussing this and saying, yeah, we gotta get all 4 R's in there. And just think about these school children in 2000. These are grown adults now. I don't know why that made me stop and think about that children in 2000 are now in their gonna be at least in their mid to late 20s. Oh my goodness. It says a reality of Earth's past, a memory for her future. So yeah, look at Etta there. And I just noticed over here, you see Greta, I guess so she doesn't escape her cage, she has one of her feet there actually shackled to the ground. And over here, Greta's makeover made possible by those who donated to and shop at the Fruita thrift shop. So apparently in 2016, Etta here got a little bit of a makeover, so she can now stand proudly here and watch over the traffic in Fruita, Colorado. And fittingly enough, right across from Etta here, who sits in this park in the middle of a traffic circle, we have a Sinclair gas station, the dinosaur themed gas station. And traditionally the Sinclairs do usually have a brontosaurus, a fiberglass Brontosaurus. And it's actually an interesting story about the Sinclair Brontosaurus. When the Brontosaurus was one of the most popular dinosaurs, so they took that as a mascot. However, the Brontosaurus was determined, the skeleton of the Brontosaurus was determined to have the wrong head. They had actually a much larger head on it that formed the Brontosaurus. The paleontologist decided that there actually was no such thing as a Brontosaurus. It was an Apatosaurus with the wrong head on it. So they erased the Brontosaurus and they said that it is actually an Apatosaurus. That a Brontosaurus was an accidental creation by putting the wrong skull on the wrong body. However, the Sinclair dinosaur was so popular that that the Brontosaurus lived on. The Brontosaurus with the head like this, the larger head. The Apatosaurus actually has kind of a tiny looking head on it. So Sinclair really helped keep the Brontosaurus, which I guess technically is a fictional creation, alive. So we have to thank Sinclair for the enduring appeal of the Brontosaurus. An Airstream trailer there with a barber pole on it. Apparently this is an actual small barber shop, and they call it the Hairstream. I love it. We've come down here to downtown Fruita, Colorado. You can see this interesting sculpture right here. Almost looks like an arch like we saw yesterday at the Arches National Park, but it's all made of dinosaurs. They definitely love dinosaurs here in Fruita, Colorado. But here in front of Aspen Street Coffee Company, we have a monument to Fruita's most famous resident, and that is Mike, the Headless Chicken. Yes, he was a real chicken, and yes, he had no head. I am actually super excited to be here in Fruita, Colorado because of Mike the Headless Chicken. This is a story I've long been fascinated with, the idea of a living chicken with no head. It's really a fascinating story, and it happened here in Fruita, Colorado. There was a chicken farmer by the name of Lloyd Olson. He owned a chicken farm, and it was just a normal day. He took his axe, he went to go decapitate some chickens in order to turn them into food, and he decapitated the chickens, except one of the chickens kept moving. Now chickens do run around when their heads get cut off. They'll run in circles, run for a while, and then they'll fall over. But Mike just kept going. You noticed the next day that Mike was still walking around, acting like a normal chicken, just simply with no head. Now, Lloyd Olson was a chicken farmer, not a wealthy chicken farmer, but a chicken farmer that was having some financial problems. So he saw Mike as his ticket to the big time and began touring the country with Mike the Headless Chicken. Mike lived for about 18 months with no head, and when he would travel the sideshow circuit showing him off, and in order to feed Mike the Headless Chicken, Lloyd would carefully take a dropper and drop food down the empty throat hole of Mike. The story does get a little graphic, sorry. Down the empty throat hole, and he used a syringe to keep the pathway clear so that Mike could keep breathing. So it was basically just like, there was just like a hole that food and air went down. So traveling, showing Mike all over the country. It was actually like a national sensation. And actually when I was working in a museum, we found a Life magazine that had an article on Mike the Headless Chicken. But during the travels, as I said, it was about 18 months of traveling on the world, showing people that a chicken could live without a head. One night, Mike started choking. He had a piece of grain stuck in his throat hole, and unfortunately, Lloyd tried to figure out a solution and found out that he had actually left the syringe that he used to clean Mike's air hole in the hotel in the last town. So he had to watch his cash cow, Headless Mike, pass away. Yeah, she choked to death on the piece of corn and sadly passed away. Now, of course, some of you may have questions, like, how can you live with no head? There's a lot of important stuff in your head. You have a brain, you have presumably other things in there that help keep you going. But I think that the working theory is that when Mike's head was cleaved off, that there was enough of his brain left behind, a chunk of his brain left behind, that allowed him to still have all his living functions. It may have messed, I don't know, maybe messed with his memory, maybe he forgot a few things when part of his brain was chopped off, but he had all that he needed to live a life. And they said that there was maybe a blood clot occurred that stopped Mike from bleeding out through his neck. So a miracle chicken. And he was able to live a year and a half after having his head chopped off. I hope that someday, if I ever have my head chopped off, that I can live 18 extra months. I take that back. No, I hope that never happens. That's horrible. But the people of Fruita love Mike, the headless chicken. They even have a yearly festival dedicated to Mike. And of course, they've constructed this statue of Mike on their Main Street area. Now you can see this statue of Mike here made out of different pieces of metal. You can see little things. There's a wrench right there. There's a gear there. What's that, like a spark plug or something? And then, oh gosh, there, that's an axe head. Oh, there's a couple axe heads. I don't know. Mike has some experience with the heads of axes. Oh, poor Mike. And you look down at his feet. Now chickens do have what they call spurs on their feet, but he actually has spurs as if he were like a cowboy or something like that. But of course, no head. See, they're doing a little bit of construction over here. Check out this. It's like a wall dog mural of a dinosaur. I love all the dinosaurs around town here. And just looking over here, we have a travel trailer that is actually a miniature library here. But I'm starting to think there must be some sort of connection between Fruita, Colorado and travel trailers. This is the third travel trailer related thing that we have spotted. Does anyone know the connection between Fruita and RVs or travel trailers? Leave a comment in the comment section. So I have this old colorful piano there. Let's see if we could play a tune here. Oh yeah. And we do have Mike's famous chicken here, presumably named after Mike the Headless Chicken. I would have grabbed some lunch here, but unfortunately it looks like it is closed today. See a trailer here behind Mike's Chicken restaurant, and it does look like the chicken in the picture actually does have a head, but he is being ridden by a pig who is also a cowboy. And what is he lassoing there? I'm trying to figure that out. Is that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that he is lassoing there? Anyway, you look at it, that's a pretty amazing logo. And we continue with the dinosaurs. So you see actual dinosaur skeleton riding a bicycle. Let's see a metal skeleton here. Yeah, can you imagine if a raptor tried to ride a bicycle? That'd be crazy. Yeah, there's definitely just something about this town of Fruita that's just super fun. See, the liquor store is called Jackalope Liquors. See the little liquor mascot there, the jackalope. I guess he's got some sunglasses on because he's all hung over. So I figure we can delve deeper into this town's love of dinosaurs here at the Dinosaur Journey Museum. Love these bright, colorful dinosaurs out here in front. Here we are outside of the Dinosaur Journey Museum, but here is something truly amazing. This is a Triceratops truck here. You can see it's got the 3 horns. You can see the crest there. It actually has these lights on the crest there. They look like old tail lights. You can see it's got this little smile there. You look on the side, you can see its legs. That's pretty fun. I would love to drive around the country in this truck. If I could, I would purchase this and continue my journeys with this. I wish this was my new car. Oh yeah, and looking around the back here, it does indeed have a tail. I think this might have actually been an old ambulance from the looks of it. All right, heading back into this cave, and we are immediately greeted by a bony dinosaur. We have a taxidermied great blue heron here, of course. Herons, the descendants of dinosaurs. We have some more dinosaur footprints here, much like we saw yesterday in Moab. It's a duck-billed dinosaur footprint. This is a theropod track. Of course, we often do see the bones of dinosaurs, but very rarely do we see the muscles of dinosaurs. Actually, look inside this leg here that has some of the reconstructed muscles of the dinosaurs. You can see how they wrap around the bones there. It's the oldest known mammal tracks. You can see the tiny little footprints there, like little rats scurrying across the mud, some of the earliest mammals. See the friendly herbivore dinosaur there munching on some leaves. And this guy, he doesn't eat leaves. Oh my gosh, this is a children's museum. That is the most horrifying dinosaur murder scene I have ever seen. Look at that. You can see the sauropod right there, and the other dinosaur ripping its head off like a fatality in Mortal Kombat. That is a Utah raptor, by the way, which is essentially what the velociraptors in Jurassic Park actually were. But you can see, actually, it's I'm baffled. I'm sorry. I'm taken aback by this display. So the Utah raptor here, covered in a thick feather coating. I like how this one is like how he's like colored like a bald eagle almost. But look at him ripping the head off of this other dinosaur. You can see the other dinosaur's tongue hanging out. That is unbelievable. I'm like afraid I'm gonna get demonetized for showing this scene. Oh my gosh. You can even see, look, with his foot there, not only is he ripping this dinosaur's head off, he is using his foot to just tear into its guts. Oh my gosh, this is I'm gonna go ahead and say this is the most graphic dinosaur fatality I have ever seen. Look at it. Look at that. Look at the look in his eye and the dead dino there in his mouth. I just can't. I can't even stop looking at it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Again, I hope I don't get demonetized for showing this. Anyways, let's move on. We're gonna make some dinosaur footprints here in the sand. Take the little dino foot, and you do the little stomp, 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 and make the fun little tracks there in the sand. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Seriously, I don't even know what to say. That right there, that's worth the price of admission. We have a paleo lab here where you can see paleontologists hard at work working on dinosaur bones here. And look here, they call the Allosaurus the king of the Jurassic. Take that, T-Rex. Well, actually that's because the T-Rex didn't actually live in the Jurassic period. And you can be my bodyguard, and I can be your long-lost pal. Do 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 do. I can call you Betty, And Betty, you can call me Allosaurus. And this box here can show you the different sizes and shapes of dinosaur hearts. A heart shape box, if you will. You can see the Allosaurus heart right here. And over here is the Brachiosaurus heart. You can just see how big that heart is. So big, in fact, that I can comfortably walk inside of a Brachiosaurus heart. Oh, there we go. You just stand here inside of a dinosaur's heart, covered in rushing blood. Yeah, for comparison, we can see the other heart sizes here. There's a little tiny chicken heart. That'll come in your bag of giblets. An ostrich heart, which is fairly big there. Oh, and a little hummingbird heart is just like the size of like a pinhole. There's a human heart there. Of course, a human heart roughly the size of a human fist. Oh, I didn't know alligator hearts were so teeny. Look at that. Step over here into the earthquake section. Let's see. Oh, we got an earthquake simulator here. I guess just ring the doorbell. Oh, look at that. You can see the earth literally spreading apart in front of us. Check an earthquake. Is this? Oh my God, you can see this platform rattling and shaking me. Oh my gosh. Still going. Is it stopping? Okay, there we go. Slow it down a little bit. There we go. Oh, it's a little aftershock. Oh, look at this. Got a Dilophosaurus there. Let's see, push button to animate dinosaur. Oh, there he goes. Oh my gosh. Look at him. That is monstrous. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, turning his head. Oh my gosh. Now, unlike the movies, I don't think he's gonna spit venom in our eyes. Oh. Oh, there he goes. Now we enter the lair of the skulls. You can see a Camosaurus skull there. That's a Ceratopsian. And then a Triceratops up there at the top of the lair of skulls. See the Triceratops there with his skin and body. And then there they have a reconstruction of a Tyrannosaurus head. You can see behind him the Tyrannosaurus with no skin with his muscles on. That's pretty scary. I don't know, what's the scariest version of the T-Rex? With skin on, with skin off, or just the skeleton? This is the Campo de Sila meteorite. It says this fell 4,500 years ago in Argentina. It says that this broke up in a bunch of other, it says there's at least 26 craters made from other pieces of this meteorite. Apparently it broke up in the atmosphere into different chunks as it fell on the earth. It said the largest chunk was 320 feet wide. That's insane. Here are some termites in amber. I don't know, maybe they should extract the wood from their stomachs and use the DNA to recreate prehistoric trees. I mean, not as cool as dinosaurs, but still pretty cool. See, I guess termites don't eat blood, they eat wood. So you can only really make prehistoric trees. Here is Fruita dens. He's the smallest plant-eating dinosaur in the world. And look at him, he's absolutely adorable. Hey little guy, I'd love to feed him a little chunk of apple. It's a Diplodocus tail down there. See a little tiny model of a Diplodocus in there as well. And here is a Velociraptor skeleton. Funny thing is, it's so small, like so much smaller than it was in the Jurassic Park movie. It's probably the size of a small dog. Here is a gumball machine. For some reason has a quote from Ace Ventura on it. It says, "Hey Ace, got any more of that gum?" A quote from Dan Marino from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That's, interesting. This dinosaur here actually collecting donations for new exhibits. She just put the money here in his mouth. Oh, there you go. He almost bit my hand off. I was in the Dinosaur Museum, picked up this map here, and I guess part of the reason that Moab and Fruita both have so much dinosaur stuff, they're actually part of the Dinosaur Diamond, the National Scenic Byway. It's a 512-mile scenic loop. I guess a lot of dinosaur activity in this area. It travels, you see we were just in Moab right there, come up to Fruita, so that's part of the diamond there, but it also stretches all the way around here through Colorado and back through Utah down here. Maybe someday I will do the complete dinosaur diamond. Traveled east to Grand Junction, Colorado. Now, when I bought my ticket at the Dinosaur Journey Museum, they actually offered me a double ticket. If I paid an extra, I think it was extra $3, I could get a ticket to the museum behind me, and that is the Museum of the West. Of course, I operate by the EM rule. I can never say no to a museum, so let's check out the Museum of the West. Start out with an exhibit on Native American pottery here. You can see the Native American headdress there. Here is traditional mountain man clothing there. You can see the mountain man dressed up in the traditional mountain man gear there. His powder horn and his mountain shirt. This is a replica of the Jensen tablet. This was a mysterious tablet found in 1956 near here. It was done in a Mayan style. It had an unknown language on it. And scientists worked hard trying to crack the code, trying to figure out what it was. And all the way, again, it was found in the 1950s until 2009, they discovered it was actually a hoax by an archaeological hoaxer named J.D. Sterling. Apparently he had created the whole thing deliberately as a deliberate hoax just to stump people and waste everyone's time. And here's another mysterious relic. That actually might be real. This is it's a mysterious Masonic relic. It was found in 1960s during a hike, and you see they have a larger version of the relic there. This is the actual relic that was found. And it says that it has different Masonic symbols on it. No one knows where it came from. This old wooden telephone booth here has a old-timey phone inside. It says we can pick up the receiver and listen to operators of the past. Let's listen to a 1954 operator. We got to pick up the phone here.
This is Marietta. Did you know you're the 50th call today asking about uranium prospecting? This new film Warner Brothers just released called Uranium Fever has sparked a lot of interest in uranium.
Some different exteriors of buildings here. An old one-room schoolhouse. See old Honest Abe there on the wall. Then we head into the Park Opera House here. We can see some how folks would have dressed up to go to the opera back in the day. The gentleman there getting his fine beaver skin hat ready. Have an old saloon here. And over here we have a exhibit on gambler and saloon girl guns. It says that gamblers were forced to leave their guns at the front door, so they would still be armed. They would actually have these tiny guns that they could hide on their person in case they needed to use it during a card game. And it said saloon girls would also keep tiny guns in their garters for protection. The post office here. There's the P.O. boxes. And you can see the post lady there working behind the counter. Got a few taxidermied animals here. Got a mean old mountain lion. I see the grizzly bear there, but sadly, it says that grizzly bear don't live in Colorado anymore, that they were overhunted. It said the last grizzly bear that was alive in Colorado was shot in 1979. It says that Teddy Roosevelt would visit the Hotel Colorado in Glenwood Springs when he would go on hunting trips. And apparently the staff at the Glenwood Springs claimed that they invented the first teddy bear. It says that they created a teddy bear out of rags and presented it to Teddy Roosevelt as almost like a joke after he came back from a hunting trip and didn't catch anything. So as a consolation prize, they made him a bear out of burlap. Now, of course, that's the more popular story is that he refused to shoot a bear on a hunting trip in Mississippi when they brought him a small sickly bear to shoot, that he didn't feel that was sporting, so he didn't shoot it. So this is a alternate tale, a teddy bear controversy. I was not aware of this until today. Also says here regarding Teddy Roosevelt that he was widely known for popularizing the pith helmet, which he would wear on hunting expeditions. I did not know that. I didn't know Teddy was the man that made the pith helmet popular. Actually, I have an exhibit on Alfred Packer, the Colorado cannibal. Now, Alfred Packer came back as a lone survivor of his group. They later found the men had been killed and eaten. They ended up going to trial and being sentenced to jail. But Alfred Packer always claimed that he was innocent. He said the real cannibal was Shannon Bell, that Packer had left the campsite and returned to find all the men killed and eaten except for Shannon Bell, who attacked him with an axe, and he was forced to kill Shannon Bell to save his own life. This is all documented in the movie Cannibal the Musical, which was created by the same men that created South Park. Here's Alfred Packer right here. He actually was released from jail and lived a quiet life. And I believe I've heard before that he actually became a vegetarian after being released from jail. Now this is a horsehair bridle. It says this was actually constructed by Alfred Packer, who put it together while he was incarcerated. Wow, this is crazy. This is Alfred Packer's gun. You can see how rusted it is. This is the gun he used to shoot Shannon Bell. Again, his tale was that he returned to the campsite. He found Shannon Bell butchering the corpses of the other men, and then he attacked Alfred with an axe, and Alfred shot him with the gun in self-defense. Of course, then Alfred was convicted of being the cannibal himself. That's crazy. They actually have his gun here, as well as Alfred Packer's compass. This is another gun that belonged to Alfred Packer. He actually used this gun to help escape from jail. He actually escaped from jail for 8 years. And I don't know if you can see it, but it actually under the trigger there, it does say AP for Alfred Packer. Now, it does say here that the museum has done research on the situation, and it seems like they do believe that Alfred Packer's story may be the legitimate one. Some actual items from the murder site there. Now, the axe is not actually from the murder site, but that is a type of axe that would have been used to butcher the dead bodies to use for cannibalism. And there is a cast of a skull fragment. One of the victims, Frank Miller, who was a butcher. His job was a butcher, but he ended up being butchered himself in a really twisted case of irony. And there is some charcoal from the fire that would have been used to cook the meat. And in that little vial there is a tiny piece of a tin cup. And it said that in Alfred Packer's testimony, he said that the meat was being cooked in a tin cup. So that's part of a tin cup that would have been used to cook man meat. See the old Western stagecoach there. And a little model stagecoach next to it. And there you have your classic moonshine still. They also have a pistol belonging to Buffalo Bill. Started Buffalo Bill's classic Wild West show. We have an old fire truck from the Grand Junction Fire Department. And this plane here used in uranium prospecting. It says uranium prospecting service there on the side. So thank you for joining me here today. I've really had a chance to dig into some stuff that I was like absolutely fascinated in today. Got to see the monument to Mike, the Headless Chicken. Got to see some of the personal effects of Alfred Packer, which is something I've been fascinated with as well. These are two things that I've long been fascinated with. So cool to kind of see them up close. And then the Dinosaur Journey Museum, that Utah raptor ripping apart the sauropod will be forever burned in my mind. That is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a dinosaur museum. Like a total like Mortal Kombat fatality. Wow. I was not expecting to see that. So some very strange, somewhat gruesome. Like pretty much everything we've done today has involved dismemberment in some way. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of the running theme. You have Mike, the chicken, who had his head cut off. You had the sauropod, who had his head ripped off. And then you had the Alfred Packer murder, where people were butchered with an axe. So a very graphic, very violent day here in Colorado. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to continue heading east. I'm hoping that it does look like there is a little bit of weather to the east, so hopefully I don't get stranded here in Colorado. I'm just gonna have to do what's safe. I'm gonna keep driving. If I have to stop in a small town and in order to be safe and stay a day or two, I may end up having to do that. We'll just see how it goes. But again, appreciate you guys watching. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the country filming roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun stuff. And not all of it has to do with dismemberment, I promise. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop. And now currently doing cameos. We'll do personalized greetings, messages, birthdays, anniversaries, any occasion. You can send them to your friends, your family, or even to yourself. And all that helps keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag. Can't believe how long this tunnel is.